Mr. Anderson, okay, I'm here with my colleague Martin to review The Matrix Resurrections. We'll be quite honest and critical when necessary, and you're just going to have to accept it. So keep that in mind, and for the last time, it's Mr. Wrong, okay? Stop getting my name wrong. Mr. Wrong, am I clear?
Yes, Mr. Reinhardt, perfectly clear.
Broadcasting through the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
By your command, fascinating.
Damn you all to hell!
It's the Solo Sci-Fi Podcast. This is episode 97 of the Solo on Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm Michael Ball of AKA Co-Club, and I'm joined once again from far away in that grand city of London, Martin Sci-Fi Appeal, the man who puts the Sci in sci-fi, even though his name isn't Sci, which doesn't really make much sense. Hello, Martin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this week, Chocolate?
I'm all right,
AKA
thank
Michael
you.
Ball.
AKA
How are you?
Martin Sci-Fi Appeal. Yes, thank you. I'm fine. We were just saying this week that we had not had a ton of sci-fi news to actually spot, but we're going to see what we can find later on. So what's happening in your part of the world? Anything much to report that you've been doing?
I did read something, actually. It just comes to me now.
Okay.
It came to me in a vision.
Okay.
Right, and it's a big vision. It's a memory flash. It was really big. I read there was an article on Facebook, and I forgot to share it. That rumor has it that Doctor Who could be getting cancelled.
Oh, well, so I mean, they're always saying
The BBC
that.
are thinking about it. Well, I saw it on Facebook. It was an article, but I didn't read it because I just thought it's probably a load of baba.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I would say that's a possibility, but they're going to give Russell T Davies a chance to see whether he can actually reignite the whole show. So I think it may well be that if he chooses a doctor that turns out to be a dud and nobody can really respond to he or she, then, or even they, shall we say, if we're being politically correct, I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I've been negative about Eve of the Daleks, as we've talked about. I know you preferred it to me, which is fair enough. But I don't mind if it does have a break, like even like 5 or 10 years, just completely refresh the whole thing and come back. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about it because I love Doctor Who, but it's been on for 13 years since it's come back, a long time. So, I mean, would you be okay if it had a big sort of like...
Well, yeah, I'm the same opinion with you. I mean, I think it's on it. I mean, if they can't wangle it next year, then it's down the toilet. You know, it's just because sometimes when they bring the great creative genius that created it originally, when they brought it back, he might not have that flair. He's moved on.
Hasn't got that sort of like...
you know, the passion,
kind of
what
spark.
he had back then. I'm not knocking
gone.
him.
No.
But he just spark has gone. He's done that many other things which he's very good at.
Yeah.
He might not have it back. You know, so we'll have to wait and see. We've been saying this for 2 years now, but we still keep watching it.
Well,
Watching it.
I mean, I've heard that production is going to be starting soon for his era. So, but as far as I'm aware, that he's going straight into the special, the anniversary special. He's not doing a season beforehand, is he? As far as I know, he's doing the anniversary special, the 60th anniversary, and then I thought he was doing season 14. Is that what you've heard as well?
Yeah.
So, and it's that way round, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Well, I just want them gone. I just want them shut. There's the TARDIS door. You, the rest of you, clear out. Shut the door on your way out, and just get something decent in, and then we can all get back and we can review this every week and go, did you watch Doctor Who? And it was fantastic. And when we get back to that, and none of this I'm not even going to go into.
I wouldn't
where it
even
was
go
going
there.
on
No,
New Year's Eve.
no. Yeah.
That kicked off all over the place.
Yeah,
And many
well,
coffee tables got kicked up in the air that night. I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, let's just say, the thing is, though, I mean, it's not going to be a very long-term thing because they've only got 2 more episodes under the current era of Chibnall. So.
Do you reckon they might kill them off?
It's about time a companion got killed off.
Well, I watched it off. Like you, I've got a passion for the older ones, but there were episodes where he just cleared off and left them.
Oh yeah, I mean
Peter Davison with Tegan.
You said at the same time as me. He just literally after the dial, he just went off. Bye. He did it twice. He did it in the end of not Logopolis. Time something.
Yeah,
and he went off. And she was saying, the guy at the airport said, "Oh, I think you're going with the doctor." And she said, "So did I." And he's gone.
It just cleared off, didn't it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so
after they saved the world together, it just cleared off.
I like Pete. Actually, we have got to review Peter Davison's era because I love the fact that he couldn't stand Tegan, and he could never get rid of her. And twice he tried to dump her. Twice. Second time he succeeded. No, second time she said, "I can't stand this anymore. I'm off," and then she just walked away. And he said something like, "Don't go like this," and that was the end. And it was that. I like that era. As I say, I know that you like not quite as big a fan of the era as I am, but I love.
Yeah,
that's the era that I grew up with Peter Davison.
I stopped watching it, but I only caught up on Sylvester Stallone years later. Sylvester McCoy. I only caught up on him years later. That's
McCoy. I couldn't get into the McCoy era. He was too.
Yeah, I gave up after Macintosh, man. And the happiness.
Yeah, I liked his era. We've already reviewed that era, but
yeah, I know. Well, I like some. I like
that he was completely
Silver
erratic.
Nemesis and stuff like that.
Silver Nemesis was good. Yeah, and I like Remembrance of the Daleks was good as well.
And the one with the devil, Mordred and Avalon from the other universe. And
that was Ghostlight. No, it wasn't Ghostlight.
No, I don't mind Ghostlight. Yeah, the one where Unit's in it and the Brigadier goes in and shoots that devil type.
Yeah. Oh, Battlefield.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
But the rest of I'd shove it down the toilet. But
the thing is, even when it comes to the 13th Doctor, there'll be one or two say, "Oh, that's quite good," and then there's a load of shite, and that's the problem. I mean, every era has good and the shite. You say you've got to kind of take that into context. You have Love and Monsters, and you have the one with the.
I like Love and Monsters.
I like Fear.
I think
Love
it was ELO did it for me in that.
ELO was good, but it was the next one after was Fear Her, which I like all these eras. I still prefer the David Tennant era to a lot of the.
It's the best Doctor. Him and Capaldi are the best Doctors.
Yeah, and I liked Eccleston as well. I just wish we could have had more of him, but in the end, I can watch them again and again, and that's what I love about it. Anything else before we go into our focus of the week?
Is it the final episode of The Expanse this week?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen the first 5, and I think it's only 6, and the 6th is the feature-length one. I'm not saying anything about it. So I take it that. Do you think by this time next week you would have seen them and caught up and actually had a proper?
Oh yeah. Well, I did plan Friday, but unfortunately I've got to go out on Saturday as well. So, but I'm hoping Friday night I'm going to do the whole lot.
Delve into the whole lot. Okay. Yeah. I'm like I said. I'll see what you think about it. I'm like I said. It's not.
I will send you a message.
Yeah. Okay. And we can talk about it next week.
Telepathically.
But I think the last one is a feature-length episode. I think.
I won't send it via Facebook. I'll sit there.
Oh, you'll send it through your thoughts, and so I'm sort of driving along in my van, and suddenly
you'll be at home watching telly. You'll hear my voice in your head.
Like that. Oh God. I've got these new. Have you ever heard of nanoleaf lights? I don't know if you heard them. There's these lights that go on the wall and they can change colours and stuff like that, and you can set them.
Oh, Jade, you got LED strips on about?
Yeah, they're hexagonal.
Yeah, I've got them. Yeah, I've got them.
And I got the pack of 9. You can get a pack of 12, but they're really expensive, and it's really good. You can have at the downstairs. I've got the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, L Cars from Star Trek, Pac-Man. I've got all sorts of sci-fi things on there, and you can even have disco. So, like, if you hear his music, that flashes like a disco. It's really cool.
Well, I've got two lamps I bought, and they've got smart bulbs in.
Oh yeah.
And I tried putting it all into my Google Nest thing, like it's like an Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
So get it all voice activated, and it's, well, I typed it into my Xbox. I tried getting it all in, but every time I speak, it won't recognise my accent.
Oh God. Maybe you can reprogram it or something. And
Yeah, but it recognises the German accent, so get your head around that one.
I'm not going to go and do accents because this is something which is shared online and people are very, very sensitive about.
But it is good when you come in, you press the remote and all the lights come on.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk to my watch. I could talk to my watch like Kit and say, hey, whatever, I want to say, because it'll trigger it. And then, of course, it turns the lights on. This is really cool.
I bought a new smartwatch, actually.
Oh, do you? What type of watch do you get?
I had the Samsung one, but I went for something different this time.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a smartwatch.
It looks like a conventional watch from here.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But it all sort of lights up here at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it monitors your stress levels, actually.
Yeah, I mean they have
and when you're really stressed, it starts shit vibrating really mad.
That's my so the one there on there because I've done the customized.
I bought it about 2 weeks, and I thought I was gonna get a new one, and I like it. So I like watches.
I love Apple Watches. I've had them for years now. This is an Apple Watch 6, and it's really good. I love it, and I'm just using it. It's funny. I was downstairs and seeing all these things that we've got, and like these wall panels now that light up, and it's like it reminds me of all the things that lit up in the first episode of Quantum Leap when he parks up, and it's like the girl's got the high heels which are sparkling and like these, and it's kind of like I love the way that in some ways the future predicted things just glowing and lighting up. And
well, it's interesting because when you're moving about at night time, and you're walking past where people live. Have you noticed you don't see like the white lights anymore? It's all different,
all different colours. Do you know what? I hadn't really thought about that, but that's a very good point.
No, but it's true. I mean, I look out.
I know. What you do see is the big screens now, because everyone's got big tellies.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's changed. I bought strip lights at the back of my TV as well, so when it's on, it all lights up. But
my son keeps going on about that. He said everybody says you should get. I might. Okay. I'm just such a big kid, but I love all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I do. I do, because I don't have a life.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that.
I say, this is my life tonight. This is it.
It's not. What's wrong? It's a
I've
hobby.
been sat here for a week waiting for you to come on.
Well, that's depressing. I wouldn't boast. I wouldn't tell my mates about that. No, I wouldn't.
I just sat here for an entire week.
That cheeser on YouTube that I have to talk to, that guy, that nutter in Portsmouth.
You've been having a life. I've just been in this box here. Until Wednesday,
I went up to not near to you, but I was up in Kingston upon Thames this weekend. I've not been up there.
I've been there
for 6 years.
Yeah, I've been there, yeah.
And it was good to see it. Actually, I went past some of my own old haunts, past County Hall, which is now closed, and apparently it's going to become a hotel. And I went up to the obviously the Bentall Centre there. Had a look around the shops, and all the old pubs are still there. The Ram, the Druid's Head, O'Neill's, all my old haunts from back in the day are all still going strong. So at least I could go for a pint. I didn't, but I could have gone for a drink in familiar surroundings. So it was really nice being back. I really enjoyed it, and I missed it. I mean, I miss London in some ways because I just like, I don't know, people up there are a little bit more, there's a bit more sophistication. I'm not saying, well, I am saying about where I live, but I just miss the kind of, it's more differential up there. There's people from different backgrounds.
You mean London's full of weirdos and you missed that?
I guess I do. I maybe it is. I just like.
I was in a meeting a couple of weeks ago. Somebody said, "Well, what's London got to offer?" Well, it's just full of weirdos.
Well, I'm a weirdo, so I mean, if I fit in there, I mean, I certainly don't fit in where I am down here. So, anyway, let's go on because we've got a film to review which we've just seen just before Christmas, and we're big fans of this franchise. I think. Well, I think you are as well as I am. So, let's go into the jingle, and this should be an interesting one. Here we go. Actually, did we do the intro? Did we actually? We have done the intro for this episode, haven't we?
Yes.
We did. I'm going mad.
Yeah,
right,
you introduced. You did that.
Yeah, I'm going mad. I'm senile. I'm 50 this year. I'm going senile. Right, here we go.
The red line.
Shut up.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi.
focus of the week.
All right, so this film, we have been looking forward to this. We talked about this a lot last year, and this is the fourth installment of really what was originally a single film. It became a trilogy, and in many ways, the end of that trilogy was enough. And then the powers that be decided to make a fourth installment of this film, which obviously stars Keanu Reeves, and of course that was The Matrix Resurrections, which originally I was going to see at the cinema, but because of COVID and everything else, I decided to watch it digitally at home. You saw it at home as well, didn't you, Martin?
Yes, I did. Yes.
So,
I did.
I mean, I think it's a film I'd love to have seen on the big screen, same as Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I didn't. So, what did you think of it? Let's go into it initially. And what did you think of The Matrix?
It's a difficult one. I mean, I watched the reviews after seeing it. Now, I've got to admit, I'm sort of sat on the fence for this, really, because I was bored shitless for the first hour. No, I was.
Why weren't you curious about why the guy was actually having?
Yeah, no, what? That's why I stuck with the old 2.5, 40 minutes of it. You know?
Was it that long? I didn't know it was as long as that.
I think it was. It went on for quite a while.
Right.
And it was just him. He got on my nerves.
So what was it that annoyed you about? Was it because of the fact that he didn't know what was going on, or was it because you just
it just went into his life and how monotonous it was. You know, and he created a computer game called The Matrix, and he added a character called Morpheus. You know, and then there was an incident where he tried jumping off the building because something wasn't right about his reality.
He suddenly realised, yeah. Well, I actually thought, that was really quite clever.
I did because I'd seen it all before. You know.
Yeah, but are you saying? Yeah, but the thing is, you see, I mean, this is an interesting one because for the first hour, I hadn't got a clue what was going on, which was the whole point.
Well, I think that might have been a problem, actually. I didn't have a clue what was going on.
So maybe in hindsight, if you watched it a second time, when you realise that he has been plugged, obviously spoilers here if you haven't seen it, he has been plugged back into the Matrix, into this newer, updated Matrix. And he's kind of like, what I liked about it was that it was kind of like, subconsciously he was aware of him being the one, but it's kind of it's very in the background. It's like all of us in an ordinary mundane job. He's a computer programmer, which is his kind of subconscious connection to where he originally was from, and he made it to a computer game. And then but the way he's having the blue pill is it's clever because it's like he had the option and he's just been taking the blue pill. He's been oblivious. And he's not aware, but then he gets this idea that maybe there is something which is artificial. I just think the more, even just talking back to you about it, I actually seem to, I'm defending it more, which is a good sign.
I think it is a good sign because I've not said it was totally bad.
No.
I just found the first hour because I've been through metaphysical bullshit with it.
Yeah, but you've seen a lot of sci-fi like I have. You've probably sort of been there, done that.
Yeah, there was nothing new in the beginning, but then suddenly, after it finally got round to dropping the red pill, finally, yeah. You know, it was like finally you've just dropped. I was just going, will you just take the bloody pill? You know, just take it. Yes. And then he took the pill, and then we found out Zion become Ion, and machines have moved in and lived with humans, and it were all hunky dory, and the other machines had a big civil war. There was a new power on the rise, right? Interesting. Mm-hmm. But where it switched on for me was he's a great actor, the analyst. I loved the analyst.
I can't remember the guy.
The minute that kicked in, I was like, whoa, this is interesting.
Yeah. Because he was good. Because the thing is, what's the name of that guy? Because he's a well-known actor. He's in lots of things.
He started in Dougie Hausen. Then he was in Starship Troopers. He was in
he was. He was
that telepathic guy.
He was one of the.
He's a good actor. He always plays them type of parts.
He was in an episode of Quantum Leap as well. He was one of the guys.
He were in that sitcom, that Some of My Parents or something.
Yeah,
How I
never
Met
saw
My
that.
Parents. No, it
Never
were a
saw
big, massive sitcom. I only seen 1 or 2 episodes.
I haven't got my
I
phone
didn't
here. I was going to look him up. But he was good because I mean, I thought
just
he was,
Google Dougie Hauser.
yeah, he was better than the architect from the third movie, which I thought was.
Yeah, well,
I didn't like him very
what?
much.
That's what I mean. I found him, and now he was so arrogant and in control of it all. I just thought it was amazing, and then it became interesting.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's quite interesting that how, because I mean the thing is, the one thing that I found really hard to get over was the fact that Mr. Anderson, not Mr. Anderson, what's his
Neil.
name? No. Oh God, what's the
Morpheus.
no, the bad guy? I can't think of his name. What's his name?
Agent Smith.
Agent Smith. Sorry, I'm going to see.
Oh, that yeah. That,
Now, this was one of my major worst issues about this film. That now, so something of Agent Smith was in this version of this rebooted Matrix. Something that had been held over. Is that correct? Because I found that confusing. Do you know what was that all about?
I think when the Matrix got reset, he was stuck in there, wasn't he? His essence.
So some essence was there, which is why
and some
he was
of
there.
it were left, and it seems he evolved as well. He wasn't like he was before. He wasn't. He didn't have a.
He wasn't quite.
He wasn't anti-Neo. He was so pissed at the actual creators of the Matrix. That's who he hated. He even said, "I've got no issue with you anymore."
Yeah.
He devolved. Something happened, and because his memories were put down. And when he started waking up to it all, he wasn't the old Agent Smith. He devolved to the next level, and he became really interesting.
Because I just thought that the actor who played him really just didn't, for me, didn't carry the role at all. I think that, I don't know, it's kind of like I'm so used to the original actor playing him, and he played him so well.
Yeah, I would have preferred Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving, or not have the character at all. I mean, in some ways, I wish that they just had a different protagonist instead of Smith, because Hugo
but you could
Weaving
say
to
that
me,
about Morpheus as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, Morpheus was clever because Morpheus was like, again, it was like because we saw a digital version of Morpheus in the real world, didn't we? Sort of, but then we also saw a kind of Matrix version of the Morpheus. But how did Morpheus work out? Because it wasn't that really so...
I suppose with it being the Matrix, that before. Don't forget, this was 60 years after the original movies, so I assume his mind patterns. His mind, or a copy of it, was created, and it was put in there, and he became one of them new life forms, a
nanotechnological thing, which we saw
where he could exist in both universes. I
mean, I wish there'd been. I mean, obviously I would have appreciated a little bit more explanation of one or two things I've got a bit lost in. I mean, like I said, I think I need to see the film again. I've only ever seen it once so far. I will rewatch it. But there was a lot of questions. Now, other aspects I wasn't impressed with. I thought that the fight scenes didn't hold up compared to the fight scenes from the first three movies.
No. And this is nearly 20 years later as well.
You see, the issue with this film for me is that The Matrix, when the first film came out, because I remember a friend who I knew told me about it, and she said, "Oh, you've got to check this out. You've not seen this?" And I watched it, and it was so groundbreaking for what it was. It was kind of like a new level in how do you say it? Cinemonetry. What is it? In cinema. Try to say that. And it kind of
cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah, something like that. It was something where it was groundbreaking. We'd never had a film like it before, like 2001: Space Odyssey, that sort of thing, or Star Wars.
It's up there with them. The first one is up there.
The first one is up there, is groundbreaking.
And I'd like to pose you a question.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, the thing is, like with the new one, with the first one, it was so cool. I bet everybody bought long coats. Everybody bought the sunglasses. I bought a long coat. I bought a long coat. I even bought them sunglasses. And do you remember the banana phones?
Yes.
Yeah, well, and they come out. I mean, they were selling like mad. I had one of them as I got older one, and where you could flip. Well, you couldn't flip it. You had to use your hand, didn't you? But
Yeah, but it's the same sort of thing.
but everybody went out and they bought
yeah.
long coats.
Yeah,
They
they
made
did, yeah.
that long coats look amazing.
But that's how big a film it was. That's
How
how
big it was. Now, did you get any? Did you get any of that from this?
Nothing at all.
No,
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
There was nothing in this film which was groundbreaking at all.
No.
And I think that again, I mean, you know, they raised the bar so high in the first film that it wasn't going to stand a chance. And
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you see, this is one thing which, again, they could have done better, was that the special effects, the fight scenes, the music tracks, it wouldn't have been on that level, but they could. There was something about it which was just didn't. It wasn't. I mean, even the fight scenes in the two sequels were really good.
Yeah, they were
both-
groundbreaking.
But
weren't
even
they?
what I'm saying is, even the sequels, the first two, they had some fantastic fight scenes. The ones with the Agent Smith sort of like duplicating and fighting and building up.
Yep.
That to me, I mean, people say INX hated it. It still to me looks really awesome.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I don't
It
think
still
it's
looks
dated
awesome.
even now.
And I think a lot of the elements of the sequels. I mean, I like the third one with Zion being attacked with the Sentinels and all that sort of stuff. And I love the all three.
The mech armor with the Gatling guns.
Oh, I still think they were absolutely. I love the sequels,
Yeah.
but this film was not on any of the levels of the other three.
No.
And I don't quite know what was missing. Like I said, was it the musical soundtrack? Again, it's down to the individual when it comes to music, but the music didn't pop out to me. The fight scenes were subpar. Any of the fight scenes from the other films, I thought. So
Yeah, they
again,
tried
it's-
replicating the helicopter thing, didn't they?
They did. There were some.
And they shouldn't have done that. They should have done
I don't know
something
why they did
totally
that.
new.
And there was lots of imagery from the first films, like on walls.
And they
on
shouldn't have done that either.
screens. And like, is that trying to remind you of where this came from and why this isn't?
Well, this is the problem now. I am getting worried that we're going to be going down the path of the homage movie to the original.
well, I mean,
Ghostbusters were exemplary.
Ghostbusters Afterlife was
and
really
it worked.
good.
What they did with that, it worked.
Very clever film.
But it was a homage movie.
yes, it was. But it was
so
done.
it was done in the right way.
Yeah, because although it was, I mean, first of all, Ghostbusters Afterlife wasn't quite the comedy that Ghostbusters was, the original movie. It was
No.
more a sort of sequel, sci-fi, fantasy thing.
Yeah.
But it was, it just did it in a way where it had different characters. The original characters really didn't feature much, again, spoilers. But this, The Matrix, I don't know what it was about. If I see it
There was
again,
something missing. I also think they squandered the story as well. They had an opportunity to go in a totally different direction. And because I sat there, because when I saw the analyst, I thought, are they going to go where I think I'm going? I know we've had we're all in an artificial world and it's not right and there's something wrong and the cat repeats itself and these like things. But I would hoping that they were going to go into human evolution and imagination, and that was something the machines wanted, and they couldn't do that. Even though they were sentient, they couldn't. They couldn't imagine or dream like a human.
I think
know.
one issue is that we were probably both expecting, because there was such a huge revelation from the first one, for this to be another huge revelation, but it wasn't. It was basically Neo was just plugged back in, and so was Trinity, and it was 60 years on, and he was just made aware again for the second time of the real world.
Well, yeah,
was
but
a
he
factor.
did die. Her and him did die in the last.
Yeah, but they explained that. We saw a
movie.
scene where we saw him being repaired, and his eye, one of his eyes.
Yeah, but
was
he
healed.
didn't come alive until they put her next to him, and then they
Is
didn't
that what
need
it
all
is?
them.
I mean, obviously,
'cause
that's why they had the duality at the end where they're both
that's
flying
why
off.
they weren't allowed to be near each other.
So
'cause every
that's
time
why.
they
That's
touched
right. You
it-
said, yeah. They did say that. Yeah.
Every
I remember
time
now.
they touched each other, the Matrix reset itself. The machines
That's
were
right.
terrified of them, and that's
right.
where I thought, because they go with human imagination, that we can control them through our mind.
Through
It's
our
like
mind
it's
power,
like Stargate with the ancients. The what do the replicators? They want to ascend, even though they are sentient. They lack something the
The
human
nature to
mind
ascend
has.
into a higher, to a higher
Yeah,
being.
and this is what it's about. When the humans are dreaming, they're achieving a higher state. And the machines, even though they're sentient and they're benevolent, some of them, they lack that understanding. Something to do with life, and they haven't got that. And that's why they, you know, some of the machines are terrified of this, but there's like them at Living Ion want this. So it's something, it's true life. And I think they missed out on that opportunity. They just went back to the original thing.
Do you think they were
because-
scared? Do you think they're too scared to kind of go to? They sort of
Yeah, I do.
breaking the bubble.
Yeah, because when they did Matrix 4, it should have been a mind blower. And they just, I mean, all right, you could say they finished it off in a nice way, because when him and her at the end, they were controlling reality in there. They snapped the finger and it affects. All right, he had that ability where bullet time, and he were moving super fast, and even Neo were in slow motion. I thought that was just ridiculous. You know, it should have been, they should have touched on the human soul. That's where they should have gone with this. And the machines are terrified, and they squandered that opportunity. I did like how they brought. I did sort of like about them too being the one. There was they could have made a lot out of that, but they just blew it.
Yeah, but her character, she was oblivious as well. I mean, she was also living in a world where she wasn't aware. She got married and she had a kid or something. If that's
Well,
right.
they'd set her up. Well, that's it. She had guardians, didn't she? They all pretended to be her kids and her husband.
That's it. That's it. And they were programs, I assume.
Yeah, and she was called Tiffany, but she went in. But somehow they have this connection, because when they moved his body out, when they took his body out of that pod, her hand were moving. You know, and when they touched each other, they
that's when it sort of like starts to
reset everything.
Yeah.
So the machines would be terrified of somebody having that kind of power. Also, I would have liked to have seen a lot more about the machine society as well. I would have.
Well, I was going to say, we saw some of the actual human ships, the hovercrafts, which actually were partly machine based as well. They were kind of like a hybrid, which I thought was interesting. And of course, we saw again the battery and the fields and everything else. But I would like to have been a bit more of the society of the machines interacting with the humans.
Well, maybe the machines have reached a logic dead end. They've gone as far as they can. They're all right, they're advanced, but there's nowhere
else for them to go.
They're still stuck in that logic thing. They might be sentient and they can sort of diverge from it, but at the end of it, they still go back to the core programming. Maybe a merger between man and machine, like an actual proper merger. Maybe that's evolution for the future, where they merge and then they create, you know, like not like Terminator, like there's an actual emergence of both life forms, and it comes something new. You could have gone down that path.
So I suppose the next question is, I mean, because this wasn't released just solely in the cinema, it was also released digitally, so a lot of people obviously paid less money.
Do you know it was the most pirated film in history?
Really? I didn't know that.
Well, it was in the papers about it. They reckon it cost
Why
them
did
millions.
Why did they go that direction? Why didn't they just do like Ghostbusters Afterlife and release it just on the cinema solely, and then?
I don't know.
That seems like throwing their money away. Well, yeah, but Ghostbusters apparently has done enough for it to at least. It's likely there's going to be a sequel or something from that, because it made quite a lot of money.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 is the biggest.
That's the biggest. The first one.
So it's the biggest film in history. It's surpassed Titanic now.
Yeah,
it's on its way to 2 billion.
During the
it's on its way to 2 billion. Yeah. So really, they could have released it
why
fully
did they
at the
do
cinema.
that? Why didn't they do it solely at the cinema? That to me seems daft.
Yeah.
You know,
it might because of Omicron wave. You know, maybe that why. But I can't. Yeah, again. Everybody went to see Spider-Man, didn't they? They were queuing around the block just to get in to see it. And I've seen Spider-Man. Spider-Man was spectacular. I have to say, Marvel put itself back on top with that movie. You know, what they did in that, it was incredible. It really was. They brought several universes together in one movie.
Well,
it works wonderfully.
I will watch it when it's digitally available. But I mean, like I said, I'm surprised it's as big as that. But it's good though that it's. I mean, good for Marvel because of course, it means that they'll still continue. To
Yeah,
do
but
stuff.
I maybe if you'd seen this at the cinema, it might have worked.
I think that too. I think I would have enjoyed. I would. I love Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think I would have enjoyed it more at cinema, and I think I would have enjoyed this more at cinema as well. It's weird that certain films like this really. You got to see it in the cinema because then you can walk.
There is certain things you have to go to the cinema to say. You can have the biggest telly in the world, but
there's something that's lost if you watch it.
Yeah.
Even if it's the surround, even if it's the speakers and the big telly and the
experience. And
it's something about seeing a film, especially on part of a franchise, at the cinema and coming out and talking about it. I don't know why it is.
If that the Wachowski's daughter directed it or whatever, or wrote the script, they would have gone. I was reading some article. They would have made this without them involved anyway, because they were looking at a big paycheck, And so it'd been made if she hadn't got hold of it, and they'd probably even I'm a Keanu Reeves fan. I think he's a great dude.
I think he's a very
he's
good.
So down to earth. He's such
a really
a nice guy.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that as well.
And I like her. I think she's great. That Carrie Ann Moss. I really do.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah,
but there was just something lacking. I thought the casting in this were very good. I do agree with you on Agent Smith. Didn't quite have the impact, did he?
That to me that's one of the biggest things that it was lacking for me.
I would have just dropped Agent Smith out of this film.
That's what I said as well. Just had a different character, not an Agent Smith.
I'd have had the analyst as the main protagonist, basically.
Well, he really was though, wasn't he? I mean, Agent Smith was there.
He was good. Yeah, I loved it. I thought when I was watching it on my TV, when I was just getting annoyed because there was a lot of arsing about for an hour. Take the bloody pill. Just take the bloody pill. I don't want to know about you and sat in a bath with a duck on your head thinking, why is my life so shit? Right?
Well, that's most people think that anyway, in real life, don't they?
Then it ends up his boss is in, right? Which that annoyed me. You know, the irony of it. But when the analyst dude came in, sat on that couch and basically explained everything, suddenly this film went into another gear for me for about half an hour, and then it suddenly started dying again.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna give the out of 5, I'd give it 3, and that's it's just over the halfway line.
I'm gonna be difficult and give it out of 10. I would probably give it out of 10. I'll give it 7.
That's good. Yeah, because there is
a generous 7. A generous 7.
Like, I watched the reviews on this film, and I watched a lot of YouTube, and they made obviously they all complained about it, and it bombed, and that's why I like doing this review, because we don't follow the narrative that's out there, because we've got our own
opinions. Yeah, exactly.
Precisely, and I agree. There is something in this film. 70% of this film is awful, but there's about 30 to 40% that had potential if it had followed that path. They lost out on something big here. This could have been an amazing film. It really could have been, but they lost out.
So I suppose one of my last questions on this film is, because they went the route of releasing at the cinema and digitally at the same time, do you really think that's it for The Matrix? Do you think that's the end of the franchise?
Well, yeah, they're not making another one. It's confirmed. That's what I'm thinking. They're not making it. There was going to be another one. They wanted to get a whole new trilogy off, but where would they take it? Where would it go? Where would you take this after that? Where would you go with this?
I just think that, and I in some ways I'm glad that there's not going to be any more, but I just think it's a shame that they just didn't release it at the cinema first. Just a month, and then do a digital thing. And I think that it would have helped it out. And as you say, I mean, where can it go? It's probably done everything it can do, and I think that's correct. But there's a part of me that I still would love to see a little bit more of it. I don't know why, but there's nowhere else.
It's a fascinating universe.
It is.
And I think there's still so much to explore.
I reckon at some point they'll make a TV show of it. They make these TVs. I mean, they're making Alien TV. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Oh yeah. I'll talk about that.
We'll talk about the news in a minute.
Yeah.
It's I that's what I'm saying. Just to sort of finish off this topic, I'm still glad that they made it. I think that the main Keanu Reeves was still great. Carrie-Anne Moss was great. The Agent Smith guy was crap. I didn't mind the guy that played Morpheus, younger Morpheus. He was all right. And I liked the fact that it was 60 years further into the future, and there was a bit more of a kind of symbiotic relationship between artificial life and humanity. That's
where they should have gone with it.
I'm glad they made it. It
should have been
better, but it could have been worse as well.
That's where they could have gone with it about the emergence of a new life form, something new.
Yeah,
it's all going
now.
That's
what you're kind of expecting.
Something you take it on a very spiritual journey. There's an opposing force trying to stop this thing. It's growing because the machines they want something from the humans. It's changing, and they could have gone down that path and it would have been amazing.
Yeah,
but they squandered the opportunity.
Yeah, so. It's a real shame. But in the end, I'm really glad we both saw it, and it's good to sort of talk about it as we've sort of because of course. Before it came out, we were talking about where they're going to go with this. Now we've both seen it, so 7 out of 10 for me, 3 out of 5 for you. I think that's not too bad. I think that's
all right. It's not done bad.
Yeah.
I think we've been fair, and we've not been like overtly nasty about it.
No, we're not. We're not. This channel and your channel are not hate channels.
No,
there are loads of hate channels. We will we're not going to sort of sugarcoat and say it's wonderful.
No,
we will give constructive criticism. But we will be fair, which is what.
And we're not a pair of grifters going on the head roundabout and then having Kickstarters,
No, I can't.
Please donate, and I'll kick off even more.
Yeah, F off. Fuck off. Sorry. I can't stand it. We can swear, but I hate that. I can't stand hate channels. They just drive me mad. Right, thank you, Martin. Let's go into. I've got a lot, but let's go into any news of the week and talk about Boba Fett and all sorts of things. So here we go.
Working.
So the Sci-Fi
news.
All right, so the news. It's a review really. Episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett was last week, and the new one we're going to both watch later on after we're recording this. So, what did you think of episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett?
I thought excellent. Loved it.
I loved it.
I loved
a lot of people are really saying it's slow, it's boring. It's not. It is really.
Do you know what's interesting?
The Tuscan. Oh, I love it. Go on.
Do you know? I mean, we saw him in all like the Star Wars movies and that, and the originals. Didn't really know much about him. There were comics and books, so you had a picture.
Yeah, you had something.
But through seeing this, he's not an evil person. He has a lot of honor, and he seems like a good person as well. But he's very dedicated. He seemed like he said something with her because I think she's great now.
She's.
He said, I don't want them to fear me. I want them to respect
me. He doesn't want to be another Jabba. He wants
to
be.
And he plays that. And I love the scene in the bar with the farmer, the homesteaders getting terrorized by them villains, and you see his shadow when he kicks the door open, and he takes them out. I just think it's really good. I love his character.
Those farmers apparently were in a deleted scene on the original Star Wars. Apparently, those two.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, the deleted scene was he was friends with Luke Skywalker, and so was the girl in it as well.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that if you type that in, you'll be able to see the original scene on YouTube, and they actually reconstructed the bar from that deleted scene. This is, the guys that make this series, they are so into Star Wars. They know exactly what the franchise is about. They don't know that so much in Star Trek, but we know. But they really do get Star Wars, and I am so confident in the way this franchise is going on TV. We saw 2 of Jabba's cousins, which I thought the CGI was fantastic. We saw the Wookiee, what's his name again? The K or something. And apparently he's in comics as well. And he's
apparently so. And he has been around.
Yep. So and then of course we had the more of the Tuscan, this particular clan of the Tuscan Raiders, this tribe, and the way that they are struggling to survive.
Do you think have you seen what she looks like? That plays the one that's
Which one? The Tusken
There's a female one who he's friends
Yeah,
with.
I don't know what she looks like on
She's stunning. There's been pictures. Honestly, she's a stunt woman or something.
Okay.
And
No,
a
I've not
model.
seen her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's got blonde hair. She's gorgeous.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't take long for fan base to find her. And I thought, is that her? I knew it was a woman. I
yeah,
thought,
you
I
could tell
bet
it
that's
was
a
female,
woman.
Yeah. But it's so hard to tell though. Although you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell, but it's not very obvious.
There were certain movements where you knew she was a
certain
woman.
curves and certain.
Yeah. But what I want to see is I want to see them take the masks off now.
I'd
like
was
to see
wondering
that.
if they're ever going to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Because this is a race that we've seen since 1977, and we've never seen them uncovered.
No.
So that
in the comics, they're meant to be human.
Really?
Comics.
Yeah,
in the comics, because one of them become a Jedi master in the old canon.
But
One of them was
they don't talk like humans. They've got a different vocal.
No,
cords.
but that's also. I mean, the comic is not as well. The erased what did the expanded universe, didn't they? So forget that.
Yeah, but they messed up. That's
What are they going to look like under there? Because I assume that there could be romance coming.
I think it's all going to end very sadly for this.
Yeah, I
tribe.
do.
And I know there's a scene where we see Boba finding. There's a scene where you see him walking to Slave One, and it's undercover in a garage kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so obviously, I can't wait because I'm a ship guy. I cannot wait to see Slave One properly. We did see it in a flashback again in episode 2. But I think it's all going to be a very sad ending for this particular tribe. But what do you think of the train heists? Sort of like trying to. I thought that was really good.
I loved it, yeah. And I felt sorry for Tusken Raiders because they just all got
They're
shot
just
to
shooting at them. They're
pieces.
just going on. They're just going by and shooting them as they're going by on the train.
Oh yeah. And they didn't know. I thought they had technology, but they don't bother with it, do they? You know.
No,
they
I mean
don't
they have
bother with
guns.
technology.
They have guns, but I think they just take those from other Tatooine races.
When he stole them for what do they call them?
Speeders.
Speeder bikes.
Well, actually, what annoyed me was because I was watching my wife. She said there's 5 speeder bikes, and some scenes there were 5, and some scenes there was 4. So I don't know whether it was just. Yeah, I know that she noticed that. She kept saying, "There's, hang on, it's 5 again. No, it's 4 again." So I don't know whether it's just that it might have been that the 5th was just out of that particular shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, this series. What I like about it, I mean, I'm not the biggest Western fan, but this.
Oh, it's very Western. It's very Western. Isn't it?
Native Americans obviously are like the Tusken Raiders, and of course, in the old Westerns, you'd get the Indians, or Native Americans, should I say, stealing horses and taking horses, learning how to use them, and of course, in this, it was speeder bikes, and of course, we've seen oh God, what's it called? There's a lot of westerns. There's a film I can think of, but I can't think of the name. But there's quite a few western films where you have an American who befriends a Indian colony and becomes kind of like part of the tribe. Dancing with Wolves is the film I was trying to think of. Yeah, like that. And I don't know why, but the way they do this in this it is a sci-fi premise, but they just do it so well. It's a real pleasure.
It's beautiful.
To watch this show.
I love
It's
it.
a pleasure. I mean, this time of year is the time of year I hate the most, and I'm just watching every episode, and I'm like a kid on Christmas Day opening the present, just sitting there. I just feel like I'm 10 again. I love it. I love every single episode.
Is this 6 episodes or 7? 7. Do you think they're going to do what they did in the Mando end of season 2? You think they're going to bring in a big character? You know when he goes for the big.
I've heard there's going to be a big end to season.
That's what I mean. Who's it going to? It won't be Luke Skywalker. It'll be somebody else.
But I tell you what, I also think will happen soon. We're going to get, because the flashbacks are catching up to the point where we did see the Mandalorian bump into him, and there's going to be a crossover at some point where in the flashback, we're going to see them when he interacts with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but. Which
maybe when he's hunting Fennec or something.
Which Star Wars character do you think is going to turn up in final episode? There's going to be something big.
I would. The obvious one would be Han Solo, but I cannot see
Well, they could get him that were in that movie. He might have signed up for it.
Oh.
Him that played. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
but
because
that would. I mean, I don't think Harrison Ford would only come back for a lot of money.
no, the actor that played young Solo.
Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is, I mean, the thing is, as you say, you've got the two options. You can either de-age Harrison Ford, which is probably going to. I think they could do that, but it's going to cost a lot of money.
But then they're going to
They
need
could get
his
the
voice,
actor,
aren't
although they got the actor. But then a lot of people were against. Obviously, Solo flopped in the. It's the most biggest flop in Star Wars history.
I like Solo. I really liked it.
Every time I watch that film, I like it more than the time before.
Yeah, I do. That only failed because of the other Star Wars movie.
One easy option is to get Chewbacca in.
It's either going to be Chewbacca and there's somebody else. I think Lando.
Who
I
else?
think Lando.
Oh, Lando.
You know the guy that played Lando in
the
Solo?
younger Lando. Yeah, he could.
He was fantastic.
He was good, actually.
He was
very
like
good.
him.
Yes, he was.
As the young. I wouldn't surprise me if him and Chewbacca turned up.
Yeah, I could see
At the end, Chewbacca's on a blood hunt against the other Wookiee.
At this point, it's after episode. It's after episode 6. So the thing is.
Oh, the Empire's fallen. The Empire's fallen.
So Lando would be the guy that plays the young Lando would be too young.
Yeah, but when did Solo come out? It was about 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Solo was set years before where they are at the moment in Boba Fett.
Well, they could just put a few dyes there or whatever and just put some makeup on.
Yeah, they could do.
I don't know. Unless there's going to be somebody from somewhere. Because the Emperor's manipulating things in the background. You saw that in the Mando. That's why I wanted that clone of... He wanted Baby Yoda. Because he manipulated that Moff Gideon. It's why he was doing the Emperor's bidding. Because the Emperor's like all messed up, isn't he? Trying to stay alive in that Exegol. That Sith place.
Hexagon.
So, I mean, is there going to be some of that going on? But somebody's going to turn up.
At this point in the flashbacks, the Empire is just finishing now because it's set a few years before. The flashbacks are just after the Sarlacc pit, where he becomes the guy that takes over from Jabba. So I wonder whether there might be some Imperial.
Whoa, yeah, but we don't know the time frame, do we? How long will it
no. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it could be 2 or 3 years. We don't know. I don't think it's that long.
How did he stay alive in there for 3 years?
No. I think he was in the Sarlacc pit for a few days at most.
Yeah, I think it was a week or two.
I don't think it's that long. I mean, he might be like. I mean, they don't ever say how long it's been with the Tusken Raiders. It could have been 6 weeks. It could be 6 months.
I'd say about a week because Endor happened not long after. When Endor and the Death Star, when Emperor got vaporized. Yeah. And Vader, the Empire, they were not. The Empire went into civil war, didn't it? They were all vying for
there
power.
Must be at that point. There must be a civil war at this point.
And then there was Operation Cinder, the computer game, where the Emperor's final command was to destroy it. Burn. It's like, what's that expression? Poison the well, because they weren't worthy of serving him. That was, you know what he was like.
Yeah.
So I don't know, transported his life force to that clone body. But his hand is still reaching out in the distance, isn't it? So I don't know. But who is gonna? There's gonna be something.
I don't know.
Yeah. Darth Maul.
We saw him in Solo.
Darth Maul. Yeah.
And he was older as well.
Because he's got that criminal empire, hasn't he? You know, in Clone Wars.
I bet it's time.
He might turn up in the final episode because he's like a criminal. He's a criminal.
In the underworld. Oh, yeah, it's
That's
obvious,
what I mean.
isn't it?
It's Darth Maul.
All right.
Darth Maul. That's my prediction. Darth Maul.
And I have to say, I hate to admit this. No, I don't hate to admit this, but I'm going to admit this. I think you're right.
Have I spoiled it for you? I'm sorry. I can time travel. I can time travel. I'll be back in a minute.
I can wipe this bit. We can delete this bit from the edit. Yeah, I reckon it's done. Yeah. All right. Okay.
It's Darth Maul, isn't it? It's Darth Maul, isn't it?
Okay.
It's got to be Darth because
in a month's time we'll know. Well.
It has to be Darth Maul because you've got the what is it? Jabbers. Them. What they call them? What's their race?
Begins with G.
Jabber. Huts. That's it.
Oh no, I think the
Huts.
Ruskin, the pig creatures, the huts. Yeah.
Right. Well, Jabba's that is race of the huts or something, aren't they? Well, Jabba the Hutt. Aren't they huts? Them two.
Jabba's got
twins.
a son as well. Jabba somewhere's got a son.
Well, then it's Darth Maul. He'll come and take them out and end up sitting up throne and Boba Fett. Oh, Boba Fett. I don't know. Could Boba Fett take out Darth Maul? Could
I
it
am
be
really
interesting?
interested to see where this series goes because this situation with him where he is cannot last that much longer. There's too many things brewing up.
Would
I
you
don't know. I
prefer
have
him?
no idea where this series is going. I
Would
love
you
it.
like to see him run a criminal empire, or would you like to see him out and about like the Mando, like doing his thing?
In many ways, I'd like to see him out and about again. I do like him out and about. I mean,
Okay, he
I
don't
don't
seem
mind
the
this.
type, does he?
I don't
to
mind
run?
it for a short term, but I mean,
Yeah.
Then I suppose what they're thinking is, well, then he's just the Mandalorian too.
Yeah,
You
that's
That's
actually
what
you've
they're
got to
trying
make
to-
a good point.
They're trying
there,
to separate the two because technically they're both Mandalorians, or he's a son
Yeah,
of Mandalorian. And otherwise, he's just the Mandalorian but with a different helmet. You know, that's why he's involved with the Syndicate.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I
So
did
that's
think yeah.
why it's gone that route.
But if it's criminal empires, it's Darth Maul.
But I do miss him going out with the Slave One and just, please can we see that ship soon? I'd love that ship. But sorry, we have been talking about this for so long, but this is probably the biggest news focus is our review of the Mandalorian.
Yes.
Boba Fett episode 2. But yeah, really good stuff. I have no idea, but I know this is going to go some interesting directions and bring it on. I'm going to watch the next one in about an hour's time after recording this.
Yeah, I 9 o'clock I'm watching it. I can't watch these things, Jordan. Yeah, I like to watch them at night time.
It's too big for that. You got to sit down and right here.
It's got to be at night time. I thought.
Yeah, I agree about that.
Today.
No.
It's got to be at night time with a
it.
cup of tea and. And everything just right, for that 1 hour. Do you know what I mean?
It's only 30. It's only 36 minutes long. This episode, by the way. It's not.
Oh right, is that all it is?
Yeah, but it's the same length as episode 1. Episode 2 is 52 minutes. This has gone back to a shorter one, which again is always a factor. But I'll just take whatever. I'm like a druggie who needs a fix. I just need some Star Wars fix.
Need more.
I do. Give me some more. Give me more. And by the way, Jimmy Corcoran, he's in prison at the moment on Brookside, and he's
fucking hell.
and he's finding ways of getting drugs in his prison. Sorry, just not mention that.
Right. Has Jimmy turned up yet then?
No, I know he's going to turn up at some point, but he only.
Right, I know it's near that time now. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about Grange Hill's coming back for a film special? They're coming back. They're making a film version of Grange Hill, and it's going to be all the characters, and they're all grandparents. I'm not joking. Phil
What you mean? You mean Tucker?
Yeah, they're going to be coming back as grandparents. I'm not joking. Type in Grange Hill Returns or something. It's going to be a movie. Right. Sorry, I know this isn't sci-fi, but apparently it's coming back. But that's not.
Well, we're going to watch it, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah.
So, moving swiftly on from Grange Hill and Brookie. Any other news that you got? I haven't got.
I saw something briefly this week. The new Alien TV series, the artwork's been released. It's got 4 arms or something.
Oh, so it's going to be different types of xenomorphs.
I know it looks the same, but it's got 4 arms.
Why's it got 4 arms in?
I don't know. It's just got one. I don't know. I'll have to. I'll dig into it.
I don't know. It's a dodgy egg or some dodgy face crawl.
Yeah.
Face hugger. I haven't got anything else. I mean, obviously, Star Trek Prodigy is come back.
No, I don't watch.
I am going to watch. There's an episode where apparently it's a big crossover with different characters, but as I say, I'm not an animated sort of fan. I want live action stuff. Did you hear that in Star Trek Picard they had an outbreak of COVID?
Yes, to stop filming season 3, didn't they?
But they only stopped for a short time. But they're back in production now. But they must be getting through season 3 by now. I would have thought.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes to film per season. But they went straight from 2 to 3.
Michael J. Straczynski, his script has gone through for New Babylon 5 with CW Network, and he's waiting on the decision if they're going to finance it at the end of this month.
Okay, well, I'm still waiting for a new Stargate series. There's still nothing going on there.
That's going to happen. That's a definite.
Do you think?
Yeah.
It's a reboot.
Do you think Amazon's going to sit back on that? That's the Stargate managed right. It's a multi-billion-pound franchise.
I don't know why it's not already sort of like back in production after the new Star Trek and Star Wars and Doctor Who and everything else. All the other big ones are all making stuff.
But I think within a year we're going to be getting Stargate. I really do. I think we'll probably get some 2-hour movie or something.
They're going to do a reboot, aren't they? Not going to do a
I hope not. I don't think they should because the universe is established. Why bother?
Well, I hope you're right. I don't want a reboot. I want a continuation. I want the Stargate.
Well, the original writer, he's written up a lot of the series, hasn't he? So he's took it in a certain direction, and Amazon are looking at it. So I can say Amazon financing that. I really can. It's the money. It's a winner for them. They want people paying subscription every month, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, that's what they want.
And also with the new shows, they've got these monitor things that they're using for special effects, which apparently it's making the production of these shows a lot easier because there's less green screen. So in many ways, it might help speed up and get stuff done quicker and out there quicker, kind of thing. So that's it though for news. I mean, like I said,
that's my eyes. No.
We will talk about The Expanse next week. We'll obviously mention that as well. I mean,
I'm up for talk. I cannot wait to talk about the entire.
But we'll focus that on the news next week. We're going to do, because I've done the graphics already, Foundation. If you don't mind giving that a look, if you get a chance.
I haven't even started.
I was wondering about that. We've only got one more week to go.
Fucking hell, fire! Can't we put that back? Can't we put that back another week? That's hardcore viewing. It's Foundation.
I could try and mix my graphics around. Yeah, I've done them already, but I'll do what I can.
I'll let you know by Monday.
I'll tell you what, because
psychologically I've got to be in a place. So what's that? Because you're talking, it's like June for 1 hour. Do you know what I mean? It's big. And I'm looking forward to watching it. I've got it. It's all ready to go.
You've got your commitments. I totally understand. But like I said...
No. I will try and do it. I don't have a life.
I feel like a teacher telling the student to do it now. Like,
see, when you vanish off this monitor, I'm just sat here till next Wednesday.
I'll stop here.
Around like that for a week.
Honestly, you'll find that the episodes, they go really fast though, and I reckon. I honestly think once you've watched the first one, you'll think, and it might be one of those shows where.
Right, I'll let you know by Monday. Monday.
And if not, then we'll do Groundhog Day or something.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it that way around. So it'll be fine. So don't worry about that. But check it out if you get.
I'll let you know by Monday. You will know by Monday. I'll probably start on it Monday because I'm free Monday, so I'll give it a go probably by then.
Yeah, I think it's 10 episodes. I mean, like I said, even if you just watch some of it, then we could actually just talk about it generally and see what you think of it.
Yeah.
Let's just see how it goes next week.
Yep.
All right, so I think that's it for this week. I don't know if we did this with the previous Matrix review, but I found the Matrix the musical. I can't remember what it's like, but I'm going to chuck that on at the end of this show.
Yeah.
And next week we will catch you back with another show full of discussion and nonsense and all sorts of weird things.
Hey, wait, is this 97? This one?
97, yeah.
Free away.
Yeah, I've done the graphics for the. Hopefully, Robert's still on board for joining us for episode 100.
If you want to do that, like if for Robert, because I know there's a time difference with where he lives and that.
We can try. And
I'm open for doing it over the weekend if it's easier for him.
Yeah, I'm up for that as well.
I don't mind that because he supports this channel and he always posts my videos.
And he always does
if he can record on the Saturday, I will make the time for him, definitely.
Me too. Yeah, I mean we could do it like I could do it like 10 o'clock at night on Saturday or something.
Late. Not a problem.
You know what I mean? So
I look forward to it.
Yeah, that'd be cool because I think he certainly deserves.
We should ask Tom to come on or make say feed.
I don't think I might do. I think Tom's got his own commitments now. I mean, if he can come.
Okay, well let's see.
But I don't know. Well, let's just see. I mean, like I said, it'd be nice to have a reunion of some people.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think that I'd like to review Star Trek Continues because it really was such a wonderful production.
Oh yeah,
fans.
Well, let's do that in a week or so. Then start it. I'm up for that.
Well, that's it. I've already done the. Like I said, the problem with what we're doing is I do all my graphics weeks ahead. So I always have to follow the graphics in the.
Well, I sit here looking. I just sit here for a week waiting for you to come back.
Episode 100 will be.
I don't have a lot. I just do this 7 days a week.
Is that what you do? Like, oh, look at that. Oh, am I in the Matrix? Am I there?
Yeah, I can't get out. I'm trapped in this square. I can't get out.
You keep tapping on the mirrors, trying to put your hands through the mirrors.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Martin. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
We meet again, Mr. Danielson. I've waited a long time for this.
What can I do for you?
You can help us to fulfill our purpose, Mr. Danielson, and we will help you fulfill yours.
What is my purpose?
Your purpose is the reason you are here.
And reason is all we have.
Except for purpose. Of course.
I don't quite follow.
Are you guys here for purpose or for reason?
We all have a reason for our purpose and a purpose for our reason.
It was our fate to meet again, and our destiny to have such a fate.
So is it fate, destiny, reason, or purpose?
Why are you guys here again?